But the reason I chose UNSW was because of their focus not just on science and engineering in the academic sense, but their connection with industry. I had the opportunity to go on internships, and I was very fortunate. I had 4 during my time at UNSW. I went to Wattle, I went to National Starch and Chemicals in Seven Hills, Johnson & Johnson and 3M. And a lot of the lessons that I learned during those internships have stayed with me all the way through my life. And so right from the beginning of my career, it was not just solving problems, but solving problems with other people, I think was an important skill that UNSW taught me right from the word go. After I left UNSW, I went across to Oxford, which was an incredible experience. I've got friends, I've got colleagues now that are all around the world from that time in Oxford. If I learned anything in Oxford, it wasn't even the chemistry, and I had some great fun with the chemistry or the science that I did. It was, again, the importance of other people's perspectives, how other people can solve the problem. After Oxford, I went to McKinsey & Company. And I suppose the reason I did that was at the time, I was slightly disillusioned in academia for a couple of reasons. So therefore, when I left time at Oxford, I took the time to go to McKinsey & Company, almost like a 3rd degree. It gave me a real insight into how business operates around the globe. Because again, fortunately, because of my background as a scientist, I got to manage teams across North America, Asia, New Zealand, and Australia. And again, I was also lucky at McKinsey. Most of the people at McKinsey at that time had business backgrounds, and they wanted to do the big banking and finance studies in town. Whereas McKinsey also did work in aluminium smelters or manufacturing or paper mills, because that's where I went. So I spent some wonderful time up at Weipa in the far north of Australia, working with Indigenous communities at Aurukun, which was fantastic. I spent time on Victoria Island out in Canada, and probably in the coldest place on earth I've ever been to, which is Invercargill, down in the South Island of New Zealand. If anyone knows that, there's a big aluminium smelter there. I moved on to the CSIRO. All of the scientists there are literally, they joined CSIRO to try and solve problems to help Australia. So one of the things that I implemented at CSIRO at the time was almost heretical, was giving CSIRO's funding to the universities, actually paying the universities to do research with this, because they said, rather than do it ourselves, why do we partner with the best in the world? And the best in the world were at the certain universities. We had great partners with UNSW, with Melbourne University. The partnerships bring a whole lot of things that you can't necessarily do or even replicate. So at CSIRO, we focus on what we were good at and partner for the other pieces that we need. We cut down the scope of our activities, so we didn't try and do everything, but what we did the best in the world. But at the time, I also came to a realization about the importance of education. I got some of that. I saw some of that when I was at UNSW, and I've seen it in spades since I've come back to the university sector. It's just the power of education to change the lives of people, and not just those who get the education, but their communities around them, their whole economy. So that's what attracted me to the university. One of the things that I suppose from my time at university that I've seen as well is often as an academic, I used to think that it was my research or supporting researchers that made some of the biggest change. When in actual fact, I've seen over time, it's the students and it's the alumni, and they go out, they get that knowledge that they have from university, their connections, the network with people, the ability to bring clarity, particularly as scientists, ability to solve problems with people, and then go out in the world and make those changes. And I get great delight as a Vice Chancellor, as Deputy Vice Chancellor of Research, of setting the right environment so that others can do brilliant work. The school that you're in around chemical engineering and industrial chemistry gives you a great advantage because it does give you these incredible, no matter what subject you do, no matter where you're going, the ability to solve problems. It also gives you the ability to cut through ambiguity. I often find that where people get paralyzed in organizations or in businesses or even in research problems is when they get overwhelmed or they have struggled with ambiguity. I think bringing clarity, solving a problem but bringing clarity is a real important thing. Connecting with people, connecting with your academics, taking the time to build relationships, getting to know people, that will form the foundation that will last you throughout your life, no matter which way your life takes. The last one, I think, which is very important, follow through is critical, being dependable. And of course, always act with integrity. And having integrity in everything you do and all of your actions is absolutely critical, I think, for anybody's success.